guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited. I've been planning on doing this project for quite a while. I'm going to be making a 3-tier tray that is also a Lazy Susan. So I saw this out at Hood's in Foley, Alabama. My husband and I were down there a couple months ago when we were looking for our plants to put out back, and we really didn't find any down there. But we stopped by Hood's and I saw something like this. Now they wanted $119 for it. And so let me show you how we've decided to recreate this, and it will cost you a lot less than $119. So let me show you what you'll need in case you want to make this project. It's totally customizable. You can make it as big as you want. This is just the dimensions that I wanted. You can make them smaller, you can make them larger, okay? So what you're gonna need is roughly a half sheet of plywood that is like a ½ inch. Now we had ours left over, so I didn't have to purchase that. And I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot, maybe like $10. I don't know, this is all an estimate. Or you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and they sell the round discs already cut. I think they're like $6 a piece, I'm not sure. And I think you can get different sizes, you'll have to check. Okay, so you need the plywood. Then you're going to go, if you want yours to be a Lazy Susan, if you don't, then you can leave this part out. In Lowe's, this is where I got mine. I got the Everbilt, and it's a Lazy Susan turntable. It's the kit to make it that. And mine was down with the knobs, the pull knobs, and the, I think like the drawers that kind of pull out easy, anything that can make your drawers like that. That's where this was. It wasn't much at all. I truly don't remember how much all this cost because I've had this for a while waiting to do the project, okay? But I'm guessing if you made this from scratch, and like I said, if you didn't want the turntable, you could cut that off. There's different ways you can make it smaller. There's ways to cut your costs. It would cost you roughly around $50 to $60. So let me continue to tell you what you'll need, okay? Then, hold on, I forgot something. Okay, I can't believe I almost forgot something very important, okay? Then you're going to need some galvanized metal, okay? If you want yours to look kind of farmhouse, really kind of old like, and it came like this, and I spray painted it. Okay, so you're going to need, these are called and depending on what size you wanted, I ended up getting the 3/4 inch, but you don't have to. It's like a 3/4 inch galvanized floor flange, okay? And this is in the plumbing section, and it's gonna come in a little plastic thing like this, and it's just plain bare metal, okay? You're gonna need 3 of those, okay, if you want a 3-tier tray, which I did. Then you're going to need a steel pipe from the plumbing section. It was also, when I purchased it, this color, okay? And it comes in a bag like this. And it is just called a steel pipe. It's 3/4 by 6 inches, okay? And I just spray painted all of this with the Rust-Oleum Universal Hammered all surface paint and primer in the brown. And I love that effect. You can leave yours bare if you want, or you can spray paint it any color that you want. I've decided that I'm going to paint mine with my Waverly chalk paint in the Hazel Nut. I love this color. I think it's so pretty. And then I'll probably dry brush it with a little bit of the Cashew, just to give it that creamy color. This was roughly the color that they had. You're gonna need a foam brush, a well-loved brush for dry brushing, and then you're going to need some screws, and I'll get into those. I do know that the screws, I think, were like $1.19 a pack. And you're gonna need 4 packs of those screws, okay? And you're gonna need some nuts. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, tape measure, and a little wrench. And that is really all you need. Now, my husband cut this out with a router. You could use a hacksaw if you wanted. He just made a little jig and cut it out with that. So, and then he sanded it. So let me go ahead and get everything. Well, let me tell you first the sizes of the base. Okay, this base that he made me, and we just put the Lazy Susan on here at the bottom, okay? This base is 11 3/8 of an inch, a little over 11 by 3/8 of an inch. Always measure your project first, and like I said, this is totally customizable if you want to make it, okay? Now, then you're going to have the top tier, the very smallest one. It's 11 3/8 inch, okay, from side to side. Now, the one I saw had this like little round disc that kind of set over it to make it look like it had a lip. I just think that's so pretty, and we're gonna need a hot glue gun. Okay, and so you have this, all right? And then your middle one right here is going to be 14.5 inches across. And then you will have this to go with it. But in the correct size. This one, okay? And then your bottom tier is going to be 17 3/4 inches across. But like I said, whatever size you want to make yours, that's the size you do it. And then it has this little top, okay? So let me go get my glue gun and get it plugged in, and we will start painting this. I think this is going to be so pretty. I'll be right back. Okay, let me push this down a little bit more so you can see. All right, I'm just gonna open my Waverly chalk paint in the Hazel Nut. And you see me do this so many times, so I'm gonna just do this very roughly, and then I'm gonna go away and come back when it's finished. Now on these tiers, you'll have to paint the top and the bottom, and naturally the side. The base, you won't really see it, but I'm gonna paint the top of the base just so that it'll have more of a finished look, okay? But this is all I'm doing, just putting a thin coat of the Waverly chalk paint. You could make this any color that you wanted, but this is the color that I've decided to do. But like I said, this is so customizable. You could make it any size that you wanted. It wouldn't have to have a turnstile, like a Lazy Susan element to it, or you could make it just a 2-tier tray. So you can really do whatever you want to do. So I'll be back once I paint these all over and get them dry. I'll be right back. Okay, I have it all painted. I used 2 coats, and some parts you have to paint the underside. I wasn't too particular with the underside because you're not going to see that much of it, but make sure you get the top part done really nicely on the sides. And on these as well. Now on these, you only have to paint the top and the inside and the outside, not the bottom, because you're not going to see it. Now I went ahead and just painted this bottom base, but with the Lazy Susan just on the top, but you don't have to because you're definitely not going to be seeing it, okay? All right, so now what I want to do is just do a little bit of dry brushing with this Cashew, and then we'll start assembling this. Now you don't have to do this step if you don't want. You could totally skip it, but I want to do just a little bit. Okay. Because the one I saw did have a little bit of like a cream on it almost. Okay. So we're just gonna come down through here and let just straight and let it sort of pick this up. That's basically how theirs was. And like the sides, it definitely picked up more on the sides. But Looks so French country, farmhouse, and even Tuscan. I really love it. And you can put as much or as little of this on there as you want, okay? All right, I'm happy with that one. I'm not gonna do the base because like I said, you're not gonna see it. Okay, so I'm gonna move to this now. Now this only has to have it on the top and the sides. So just get back in here and use a light hand and just dry brush it. And like I said, it's gonna pick up where the rougher places are or the edges. And make sure you get your edges too, because you want it to look like it matches. You just don't have dark edges and then nothing else. And then the light on top. You definitely want it to match. But it's up to you how much you use. I think that's going to be so pretty. And like I said, you can do any colors that you want. Okay, I know you know what I'm doing, so I'll be back once I get all this dry brushed how I want it, and then we'll start putting it together. Okay, I have them all done. This is going to be our bottom tier. Like I said, you can paint it any way you want. I just really like this look. Okay, this is our middle tier. I just think it's really pretty. Definitely has that farmhouse French country flair, okay? And then here is our top one, okay? And we're gonna glue these on here. I'm gonna use hot glue, but you could use wood glue, okay? I use the Gorilla hot glue and I have great success with that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get your bottom tier right here, and we're gonna put screws and the nuts in this so that we can attach this, okay? Before we do anything else. So you want to get this, let me move this out of the way so you can get closer. It's really not hard to assemble it. This has 4 holes right here, and my husband pre-drilled it, so you get that. And then all you need is to get these screws right here. And I'll show you which ones that I have, okay? I got 2 packs of the 1/4 inch by 1 inch, okay? 1/4 by 20 by 1 inch, all right? And I got 2 packs of these. And this is what they look like. Okay, they look just like that. So I'm going to just push this down in here. And if you wanted, you could just like, I'm gonna screw it down in is what I'm gonna do. If you wanted, you could spray paint these to match this. I just didn't do it, but you definitely could do that if you wanted, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of get this started with my fingers. And then I'm going to use this screwdriver to put it right down in there. Okay, and same for this. It'll just go right down in there. Okay. It's really simple. And I might end up spraying mine to match the brown, I don't know. It's totally up to you what you do. Okay, and then we're going to put one more. Okay, then we're going to flip it upside down and put our little nuts on here so they won't come off. And we'll tighten it with a little wrench here in a minute. I think I may have got this screw not in quite right or something. There we go. All right, so then all we're gonna do is take our wrench so it's nice and snug, because I don't want this to go anywhere. And you can feel it snugging up. And then we'll do this one. And the base, like I said, you didn't have, well, the bottom tier you didn't have to paint. Okay, I think that's plenty good. And that's what we have. I think that's so pretty. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to put this upside down. Okay, now we're going to put the base on, and this part needs to be against this so this will turn, okay? So we're going to line this hole in the metal up. I don't know if you can see, but there's a hole right here. We're going to line that up with the hole in our base here. And then we're going to put our screws in. And that's going to attach the Lazy Susan to this, okay? And then all you have to do is just keep looking for your other ones. So I'll be back once I get all this adhered to this. I'll be right back. That was really easy. So I have that done, and now you can see I have a Lazy Susan, okay? So since we have that done, what we're going to do next, I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on here where I want it. It'll make it a lot easier, okay? So as you all know, I use Gorilla hot glue. You can use wood glue, okay? And you can also use clamps to hold this if you want. You could even use super glue if you wanted. I'm just going to do this because I trust this wood glue. I mean, it's like a wood glue, this hot glue. Okay, just make sure you get it where you want it. And then just press down, and I found it's not gonna go anywhere. Okay? And that's what we have so far. That is so pretty, okay? But like I said, you could use wood glue or anything like that, okay? Now you could stop here if you wanted, or just put one more tier. Now we're going to take this pipe and we're going to just put this right down in here. Just screw it right down in here. It just screws right in. And I wanted the 6-inch one for my width between my tiers. You can do whatever you want, okay? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my middle one, okay? And it has to get 2 of these pipe plates put on it, because it has to screw onto here, but it has to allow the other one to screw to it, okay? And we're going to get our screws. And these are the screws that you need, 1/4 inch, and they're 20 by 1 by 1.5, okay? I hope you can see that. All right. Okay, so that you don't see these nuts from the top, I'm going to stick it, I'm going to put this one on first on the top, okay? So you just put that right in there. And you can get it started with your fingers. Okay, now we're going to flip this over and just place this right on top. And go ahead and screw these down on it. Okay, just back off on it a little bit if it doesn't all go down, because you want it flush, and then just screw this in, because this has to be flush for your nuts to go on it, okay? Make sure that's down in there good. Okay, then we're gonna flip it upside down, and all we're gonna do is just start our nuts on there. This is really, really easy. It seems kind of complicated, but it really isn't. Okay, then I'm going to get my little ratchet and just tighten it down. Okay, now all we have to do, you'll see what we have just like that. Now all we have to do is just thread this on this pipe. Just take it round and round and round. Try to thread it straight. Okay. And you can back off a little bit and come back on again if you think you're starting to get it a little crooked, okay? Then the last thing we have to do is take this one, screw this down in here. Well, it's not the last, but it's really close to being the last. Okay. Now we're going to glue this on top of here, just like we did before, with our hot glue. Like I said, make sure you get it where you want it, and make sure that you have the right one, because this glue is going to set. Now you could totally stop right here if you just wanted like a 2-tier Lazy Susan, but I wanted 3, okay? So, okay, so then you get your last one like this, and what you're going to do is attach it to here on the underside, just like we've been doing, okay? And here's the screws for the top tier. It's the number 8 by 1/2 inch, okay? I'm going to do the same principle, line those holes up, and just put that right over it and screw this down in. I would hate to see, I mean, I think you would probably even pay more than $119 if you would see this at Hobby Lobby or Kirkland's. And it is so solid, it will hold anything. You're not going to have to worry that it won't hold. Okay, then Now what we do is just put this top tier right here and the same thing. Just start screwing it down onto that threaded pipe till it gets snug. Oh, I love this, okay? And then the very last thing we need to do is glue this on. Okay, and like I said, make sure you get it where you want it before you put it down, because it's gonna stay where it is. And it's not going to move. And you can use clamps, like I said, if you want. Okay. Let me clean up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here's my 3-tier Lazy Susan. I love it. It is so sturdy. If you wanted, you could put another thing on the top, but I didn't want it. I wanted it just like this. It's heavy, let me tell you. Oh, that's heavy. I don't think I can lift it. It's very heavy. I've got glue web. It's very heavy, but it's so pretty. You can make it any colors that you want. You could take it, make it a 2-tier. You could just make you a Lazy Susan if you wanted. It doesn't even have to be a Lazy Susan. This is so easy and very customizable. You could not spray this, or you can spray it whatever color you want. It's totally up to you. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye guys.